Hello, friend. This is Andy Couturier with theopening.org, and today I'd like to present to you one of the most precious things in my writing teaching for me, and I've used it to start every single class in, more than 25 years, some version of this. And I've developed it over time because I think a lot of people suffer a tremendous amount around their writing, and it's totally unnecessary. And a lot of it has to do with a lot of layers of lamination that have been put onto us by our society, by teachers, well-meaning teachers who are trying to help, but are basically using a fear-based method to scare you into good writing or being correct or good grammar or fitting in properly to a well-mannered society. And the only manners that really matter is that you're kind to other people. And so I'm going to present this as I would to a group. So some of the things I'll say will have to do with the group, and you can watch it perhaps before your own writing group if you have one, but if you're writing by yourself, a lot of it will apply. So I call this peeling away the layers of the onion. Okay, let's get started. First, make yourself comfortable physically. Really, first. Is your chair comfy? Do you have a nice cup of tea or something to drink? And take a few long, slow, deep breaths to release. It's quite important that you start with this, because if you have a lot of tension in your body, a little anxiety from things that might have been painful in a writing class before or in a writing experience, or just from the stress of everyday life, it's actually going to prevent you from having full access to the deep riches and wilderness of your subconscious mind. So again, are you comfortable physically? And to release the hold of the ego a bit and to reset your mind, maybe think of one person who has helped you to be here today and to thank them in your mind. So it could be someone who's supporting you doing some writing right now by doing some tasks, or taking care of something for you, or caring for a member of your family. Or it could be the person who brings you the light in your house or built the roof over your head. So they may not be someone you know. Thank them in your mind. And it's a lovely time to turn off any distractions that you may have. It's really hard to deepen in to the subconscious if you're constantly being alerted or distracted. So again, see if you can create a container, as they like to say, for yourself, away from the distractions. Third, always seek your own pleasure and enjoyment in writing. You can use your favorite pen, your favorite kind of paper or journal, just following your own pleasure. This is your time, remind yourself, and it should be an unhurried time. You have cleared away all the other things in your life to be here and to write, and maybe to write with others. So let's just relish and cherish that time. So in all of our groups, I always say you can write about anything you want, anything at all. It can be tedious, it can be dirty, it can be mundane, it can be meandering, it can be bloody, it can be childish, whatever. So if you're in a group, the first corollary to that is full confidentiality with each other. So if you're with a group, look around and acknowledge full confidentiality with each other. Another corollary, you never have to read if you don't want to. So if you're writing along and you're feeling like this is a risky topic, you can say, I'm not going to read today, I might pass. And that'll allow you to get dangerous. Because if you're constantly playing in your mind this idea, oh, what are they going to think about me? Again, you're constricting. And Constriction is a form of fear, or perhaps the result of fear. What you want is to have a risk-positive environment. The only rule in my groups, our groups, is that is unbreakable. The only rule that is unbreakable is kindness to other people. And now that we're speaking about other people, a great moment to jettison any thinking about competition or who is a writer or even good writing. The more you're like, is this good writing? I better do good writing. Or that person's a little better than me. Or that person's a published writer and I'm only an aspiring writer. Or I'm a failed writer. You're constantly closing in, tensing your body, tensing your mind. So try to let go of that. Our writing groups are not open mic, so it's different than an open mic. So when you read to the others, it's not supposed to be your best work. So we welcome the incomplete, the half-finished, the obscure, and the emergent. That's probably my favorite thing about this whole little talk, is welcoming the incomplete, the half-finished, the obscure, and the emergent. That's what this space is here for. It's about adopting a radical come-as-you-are attitude for yourself and for others. So if you're sleepy, come as you are. If you're irritable, come as you are. If you're a little late, don't have to crowd it out with apologies. Just come as you are. So, yeah, the incomplete, the half-finished, the obscure, and the emergent. This is a radical rejection of perfectionism and get-it-rightism and beautiful, everything has to be fantastic all the time-ism, which is a lot of pressure. So in my classes, I introduce a lot of free writing exercises. They're more experiments than exercises, and I always say it's not about correctness or even about complete sentences. So it's actually impossible to do the exercise wrong, whatever way you want to do it. So in fact, if you don't want to follow the exercise, you don't even have to. These are all in my book, Writing Open the Mind, and they're all there for you to use. And by the way, if you have a copy of it, feel free to use it or share it with others. I have no copyright on any of those exercises. Okay, so what is free writing? Basically, there's 3 rules to free writing. Keep the pen moving, don't read back, don't scratch out. Let me repeat that. Keep the pen moving, don't read back, don't scratch out. So when you read back and when you scratch out, you're triggering this frontal cortex of your brain, the frontal part of your mind that is always evaluating and right and wrong and good and bad and does this make sense and is this coherent with something else. So try to not trigger that. A lot of the things I've already said are about not triggering that judgmental, fear-based mind and creating what I call a risk-positive environment. And all of that can be accomplished with keep the pen moving. So if you think you're writing great stuff, keep the pen moving. You think it's boring, keep the pen moving. If you don't know what to write next, say, I don't know what to write next, or this is a dumb exercise, or I'm getting tired, or my fingers hurt, but keep the pen moving. Okay, so when someone reads to you, if you're in a group, acknowledge the gift of their reading to you. Acknowledge the gift of their reading. Remember how actually difficult it is to reach into yourself and pull something up out of there and to find words for it and then take the risk of sharing it with us. So thank you. Thank you. Gratitude practice. It'll make you happier too. So a few more. Our absolute keynote is kindness to and non-evaluation of other people. Your goal is to send the other people in your group back to their lives eager to write more. In fact, if you focus on that more than anything else, goal is to send other people back to their lives eager to write more. You're going to do a world of good, not only for them, but for yourself, and maybe even for the world. And so that generosity and kindness extends to everyone in the room. And you may notice that you are also in the room, or in my case, outside, in the group. So that includes yourself. So no need to have these disclaimers or negative preambles about the piece you're about to read. It doesn't even work. It doesn't even work. So let go of that. And the last thing I'll say is Gateways to the subconscious work when you just remain open and watching and delighted. Gateways to the subconscious work when you remain open and watching and delighted. Okay, those are the basic principles of peeling away the onion, as I like to teach them in my classes. There's a lot of free resources at theopening.org, and thanks for listening. Have a great writing session.